Okay, let's start the session. So today we are going to see about markets. So markets are, we know that there are different types of market where the goods and services are exchanged. So goods and services are produced by the farmers, which is consumed by our normal consumers. So when the producer and consumer cannot meet individually, for them the market is very necessary. So what they have done is they have evolved this exchange process. So this exchange process is called markets. So so in this we are going to see about markets theory of exchange. So theory of exchange means, in Tamil we can tell that கொடுத்தல் வாங்கல், நம்ம வந்து எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிக்கிறது. So in English it is the transaction of goods and services. So in market structure, in this lecture we are going to see about the market structure, that is perfect market and imperfect market. So we are going to see about perfect market and imperfect market. So then we are going to see about the price determination. Okay, so in theory of exchange, what we are going to see, the exchange of goods and services. So how this exchange of goods and services happens, and in that is mainly happens through the markets. So the farmer produces the goods and we need the good. Both were fulfilled by the activities called buying and selling. So buying and selling are the major process here. So components of a market, we know that we came to know about many markets. So components of a market, for any market there will be these things. A marketplace, so it is a place where the buyer and seller meets. And product or service, there will be a product, there will be buyers and sellers. So these are all the components of a market, and these are all called as the market components. So in Tamil we can tell that, ஸோ மார்க்கெட்டுங்கிறது ஒரு சந்தை. அதில் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட்டு இருக்கும், கண்டிப்பாக ஒரு வெஜிடபிளோ இல்லை வந்து ஃப்ரூட்ஸோ இருக்கும். ஸோ அதில் வந்து பையர் செல்லர் வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, தே வில் இன்ட்ராக்ட் வித் ஈச் அதர் ஃபார் buying the goods. So what that buyer will do, he will uh, get quote a less price than the market price, and the seller, he will accept and he will give the commodity. So this is what will happen when there is a market. Okay, so market definition. So new definition, market need not have any particular place, so in which things are bought and sold, but the whole of any region which buyers and seller are in such free interaction with one another. So that means it need not to be a place. For example, our Amazon or Flipkart or eBay, so extra etc., they don't have any physical place, but they are all selling their commodities. There are sellers and there are buyers. So there is a free interaction between one another. So that the price has been arrived. So these things constitute the market. So in this slide, we are clearly telling that it need not to be a place. Market is need not to be a place. It can be a it can be any form where buyers and sellers are interact with each other. Then market structure. Market structure is nothing but it is based on the degree of competition. So how much competition is there between the buyers and sellers or producers. So based on this, we have two type of markets. One is perfect competition and another one is imperfect competition. So perfect competition means there will be competition for your good. For example, rice. Let's say rice. So in rice, we can tell that the competition will be heavy because many farmers will produce rice. Many persons require rice, so many farmers will produce rice. So rice or our pen or pencil. So this also there will be many uh, there will be many persons will be involved in producing such goods. So in Tamil, we can tell that perfect competition means ஒரு பொருளுக்கு வந்து அதிகமான செல்லர்ஸ் இருப்பாங்க. அந்த பொருளுக்கான விலை வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கும். அவங்களால ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கக்கூடிய சுச்சுவேஷன் தான் பர்ஃபெக்ட் காம்படிஷன். ஸோ the persons involved in these markets cannot fix price. So no single person can fix price for a rice or pen, etc. So the prevailing market price only he has to take. So we can tell that cello pen. So there we can tell that there are two pen companies. One is Cello and another one is Reynolds. If Cello is offering a similar kind of pen at 5 rupees, Reynolds also need to give the pen at 5 rupees only. So then only the buyers will purchase. That is called perfect competition. If Cello and Reynolds are not there, the persons will go for another brand. So similarly, rice also. So if everyone is selling for 40 rupees, so the farmer also has to sell it for 40 rupees. So or else the buyer will go to another seller or another producer or another farmer. Okay. It is not in case of imperfect competition. So there will not be any competition in this case. So what the producer decides the price. So for example, petrol. So we can't decide the petrol price. Only the petrol producing companies will decide the petrol price. So this is the things we are going to see in the coming slides. The first one is perfect competition. So there will be large number of buyers and sellers. You just take the example of our agricultural commodities. There will be large number of buyers. So almost all the people will consume agricultural commodities for their main food. So and sellers also many persons. So homogeneous product. The product will be homogeneous. That means the rice will be rice only. So it will not be any differentiated form, or the pen or the notebook. Everything will be homogeneous. You cannot find but you can't find the differences. So that is why it is called homogeneous. Homo means same. Same genus means same kind of. So then there will be free entry or exit. So if you want to make a bring a company to the society, we can easily start. So we can make start selling rice. We can start selling pen. we can start selling notebooks. So anything we can do, free entry, and we can close it any time. So if we don't like the company, we can easily close it. So there should be no restriction, legal or otherwise, on the firm's entry into or exit from the industry. Then there will be perfect knowledge. The buyers and sellers are fully aware of the prices that are being offered and accepted and other market informations. So demand and supply also they have known. So we know that in this situation, the demand for vegetables and fruits are high. So due to this movement restriction, the demand will be high. Ultimately, the price is also going to be high. So that is called perfect knowledge. So vegetable prices, we know that the movement of vegetables has stopped there. So that the price will be high. We know the market information. So that is called perfect knowledge. Then perfect mobility of the factors of production. So there will be perfect mobility for factors of production. So in order to adjust the supply and demand. So these things are the perfect competitive markets. So perfect example is our agricultural commodities market. So agriculture processing market. So everything comes under these perfectly competitive markets. Then we will move to imperfect competition. So imperfect competition means in this situation, what will happen is there will not be many buyers, sorry, many sellers. So there will not be many sellers, but there will be many buyers. And then this in imperfect competition, there are three things: monopoly, and oligopoly, and monopolistic competition. There are these three situations. Mono means single. So poly means seller. There will be a single seller. So there will be only one seller for that commodity. So in perfectly competitive market, there will be many buyers, many sellers. But in imperfect market, there will be only one seller in case of monopoly. Oligo means few. So there will be few seller in case of uh, oligopoly markets. And in case of monopolistic competition, here there will be many sellers and the product also will vary. The product will also vary. So we will see these three things. So first one is monopoly. Monopoly means single seller. A single producer or seller controls the entire market. So when the can assume that there is a village and in that village there are only one seller for uh, a particular commodity, say rice. So there is no substitute for his product. So what he will do, he controls the entire supply and he can fix the price. So what he will do, he will give it at a higher price only. So he will aim that high profit is to be achieved. So he is the firm and he also constitutes the industry. He is the price setter. So he is not the price taker. He will not accept the market price. He will set the price. So if the normal market price is 40 rupees or the cost is 40 rupees for him for to produce 1 kg of rice means he will quote amount more than 40 rupees only. So in order to gain the profit, here the entry is restricted. Entry of new firm is restricted. The perfect example for monopoly is the crude oil or the petroleum products. So what will happen when we say that there are the we can't produce the petrol, everyone cannot produce it based on the resources available with us. So we have to depend on them. So they are the monopoly. So oil exporting countries, OPEC countries, are the monopoly for the petrol market. And so there is a situation called monopsony. Monopsony, where monopsony. So Sony means buyer. PSONY means buyer. There will be single buyer for that commodity. So it is also a term related to monopoly. So here only one seller, here only one buyer. So that is the difference. So duopoly also there. Duopoly means there will be two sellers. The price will be competitive. So between these two people. A perfect example is Pepsi and cola. So this Pepsi and cola will have rivals between them, and they will fix a price which will benefit them. And oligopoly. So this oligopoly means there will be few sellers of a product. The basic characteristics of an oligopolistic situation is the every seller can have an influence on the price output policies. That means, so they have significant importance in the market. So unlike in our competitive market, our perfectly competitive market, here they can exercise some influence. So the perfect example for oligopoly markets are the air market. Air market means we are getting, so we are getting the air services, that is transportation. So these airways are example for oligopoly. There are only a few sellers. So in our India, there are 9 major air services providers. So they have important influence for the price. If we take SpiceJet or Air India, they will give premium services with a less price. So when we want business class, we have to go for another companies. So like that, they have similar significant influence. So here also the entry is restricted, but we can start, but uh, it will be restricted. It cannot be very easy one to enter or easy one to exit. Then monopolistic competition. In monopolistic competition means the number of sellers are many. So before that we will see oligopsonic. Oligopsony also meaning there will be few buyers only. So like that. Monopolistic, there will be many number of sellers, but the products are not homogeneous. That means if for example our tea is there and coffee are there, and we have fertilizers also. In our agriculture commodity we have fertilizers also. So when we see that each brand or each company have their own different blend for tea or fertilizers or coffee. So someone will give us green tea, someone give it us uh, lemon tea, honey dipped tea. So like that they will give. So then fertilizers also we can see that in case of IFCO, we can see many different persons, many different forms. So they are differentiated by means different labels attached to them, such as different brands of groundnut oil. So we can see groundnut oil with different brands. Okay. So these three were regarded as the imperfect competitive markets. Now we will say about the price determination, how the price is determined under perfect competition. So this perfect competition is in the equilibrium price and quantity is determined by interaction of demand and supply. We know that demand, demand and supply are influenced by price. So the demand will go down when the price is high in a market, and the supply will go high when the price is less. So when these two interacts, we get the equilibrium point. So equilibrium price we can get. So okay. So the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied vary with the price, and the price which will tend to settle down in the market and at which the quantity demanded and is equal to the quantity supplied. That is what we have to tell. So demand and supply, when they are equal, we can see only at this price all the buyers and seller are satisfied. So we can see that AR means average revenue, MR means marginal revenue, and P means price. Okay, let's see that in perfect competition. So we know that this is marginal cost curve. This is average cost curve. Okay. So we already explained that in our cost concept, the marginal cost also regarded as supply curve. This marginal cost curve also called as supply curve. So this is the supply curve, and this one is the demand curve. So the demand is fixed. So the demand is fixed. So demand is equal to average revenue, that is equal to marginal revenue. Marginal revenue means higher revenue. Okay. Average revenue is the market revenue. Market revenue means in perfectly competitive market, we know that they are not price makers, they are price takers. That means they will take the price which is available in the market. Even though if you produce a pen at 10 rupees, but the prevailing market price for that pen is 5 rupees, you have to sell your product at 5 only. You can't get quote 10 rupees for that pen. So the buyers will not buy your product. So this is a demand and this is supply. So when these two meets, we get the price. The difference between, you can see that this is the average cost. So we can produce it for example, it is the 5 rupees, the average cost for production. But we can get only 6 rupees in case of perfectly competitive market. That is why farmers are getting very less price. So this is the situation. When this is the perfect competitive market, they can't quote their prices. If someone quoted higher price, the buyer will go to another person for consuming the good. So this is how the price is found in the perfectly competitive market. The profit will be very less only. So here this demand and supply meets at this place. We are getting Q1 and P1 as price and quantity. So these are all called as equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Then price determination under monopoly. So price determination and monopoly means, so we know that monopoly is a situation where there is only one seller. So he exercises sole control over the supply and price. So அவர் தான் என்ன பண்றாருன்னா பிரைஸை ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்றாரு. ஸோ அவரு தான் என்ன பண்ணுவாரு, எவ்வளோ குவான்டிட்டி மார்க்கெட்ல கொடுக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதையும் ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணுவாரு. ஸோ வாட் ஹி வில் டூ, he will try to maximize his total money profits. He try to maximize his total money profits. Therefore he will produce up to a point and charge a price which give him the maximum money profits. So we quote the example of petrol here. So they will produce up to a point and charge a price which give them a maximum money profit. They will not fully exercise all the goods, all the petroleum products. They will produce up to a certain limit only. So in other words, he will be in equilibrium at the price level at which his profits are maximum. So he will set the price where MR equal to MC. That is marginal revenue equal to marginal cost. Or even what he will do is marginal revenue should be higher. He will tell that the revenue from the product should be higher than the marginal cost. So he will go on producing so long as additional units add additional revenue to the cost. So he will go on produce goods since it will fetch him more profit. He will stop at that point where beyond the additional units of production add more cost to the revenue. So he will be in equilibrium at the point MR equal to MC. The marginal cost and the marginal revenue are equal. So in monopoly price, we can see that this is a monopoly market. So this is the actual demand. This is the actual demand. So this will be the average cost he incurred. Let's say that it is 5 rupees. So, but he will exercise a price that is higher than the market price or the average price. So he will exercise more money. So even though the price is less for him, he will get benefited. So the supply is here, he can get price here when in case of competitive market. But he will quote a price that is higher than the normal competitive market because he is the only monopoly. So he is the only seller in the market. So that is why he will exercise sole control over the price. Okay, thank you, students. And now let's have the discussion session. I will unmute you all. So you can ask your questions. We can interact for next 10 minutes.